Manchester United reign supreme over Manchester as they beat their nearest and dearest Manchester City. But what about the rest of the pack? How did they get on this past week? We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back on team and British show today. We're taking a look at Matchday number 30, I believe, out of the Premier League, and we'll get to that. Oh yes, we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, I'm asking you, where the heck have you been, boys? Smash your subscribe button, keep banging out today with all things Blabbing Rovers related, Premier League related, World Football related. We're going to go here under Walrooski. We've got a bit of a bumper special today. We're going to cover quite a few matches. In fact, this will be the last Premier League prediction video before the international break. So lots of points on the agenda. We'll take a look at what I mean in just a second. Of course, I want a big shout out to the Patreon brothers. That's right, the VIP band of brothers. So I do appreciate your support. If you're interested in becoming the latest member of that band of brothers, check out the link down below, patreon.com/overseas. You can join for as little or as much as you like. Check it all out. Details are in the old description. Until then, though, let's jump in the deep end and see how I got on. And of course, we'll take a look at how you got on last time around. So here we bloody go, folks. Of course, kicking all off, it was way back when. It was on Saturday, the March the 6th. It was, of course, then Six Finger Freakazoids, Turd House, Turd Moor, Burnley, of course, taking on Arsenal in the end of Old Square in the end on this one. Chris Wood on the score sheet. Of course, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang opening up the scoring there for Arsenal, giving them a show of the spoils. Actually, remember the 2-1 for Arsenal, another shit show for them this time around. Of course, Burnley just grinding out the results recently. Of course, Sheffield United, I think they fluffed their lines here. If they were going to beat anybody right now, Southampton were the team to beat. So 2-0 was my pick for them, but they lost. 2-1 was my pick. 2-1 was my pick. 2-0 was the final score going in favour of Southampton. James Ward-Prowse on the score sheet. Che Adams as well, as opposed to a split right down the bloody middle. No, they weren't. So next up, of course, it was Sheffield United. They took on Southampton and ended up 2-0 in the end for Southampton. I actually remember the 2-1 win myself for Sheffield United. To be honest with you, I think they're lost at sea. Jason Ward-Prowse the score sheet for Southampton and Shea Adams as well, giving them all 3 points. Of course, Villa drew with Molineux, and of course, Villa drew with Wolverhampton Wanderers in the end. Down at the old Black Country Derby, I think, or the Midlands Derby, whatever you want to call it these days, down at Villa Park. 0-0 in the end. Actually, I have the 2-0 for Villa, but unfortunately, I was wrong. Meanwhile, Preston. Oh my goodness, I can't get it right. So let's take a look at it then, shall we? Kick it all off, of course, on March bloody 6th. It was Burnley up against Arsenal, which, of course, was on Saturday. 1-1 in the end. Absolutely shithouse gang. That is, of course, the Turd Faces. That is the Freakazoids. Burnley 1-1 in the end. Chris Wood on the score sheet on the 39th minute. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang get the goal for Arsenal to make it even. Bloody Stevens. I remember the 2-0 win for Arsenal, so shame on me. Meanwhile, Sheffield United could not get the win over Southampton. 2-0 in the end for the Saints. They keep on marching on. James Ward-Prowse on the score sheet. Che Adams as well. 2-0 for them. 2-1 for me. Shame on me. Meanwhile, Villa could only muster a draw against Wolves, 0-0 in the end at Villa Park. Actually, with the 2-0 for Villa. Shame on me. Meanwhile, Brighton of Albion, they did lose to Leicester 2-1 in the end. They made a good game of themselves. Lallana on the score sheet for Brighton. Kelchi Ichinacho, Daniel Amiati on the score sheet for Leicester as they got it 2-1 in the end. I got that one bang on the nose as well. The Baggies against the Geordies end up 0-0 in the end. I thought this would be Sam Allardyce's point where he could start to grind some results out, but unfortunately he can only grind a point out. So disappointed there. 1-0 for me. Shame on Liverpool. What's gone wrong with them? I just don't know. Of course, 1-0 loss. Mario Lemina on the score sheet for Fulham. I don't know if anybody picked. I think there might have been a couple of people who picked Fulham, but unfortunately I was wrong. Yeah, I went big. City against United, of course, and there was a 2-0 win for United down at the Etihad. Bruno Fernandes from the commence, but Luke Shaw with a banger as well. 2-0 for them. 3-0 for me going the other way. Shame on me. Spurs, though, 4-1 winners over Palace. The Gareth Bale has returned in the end with a brace. Kane also with a brace. Christian Benteke as well. Getting a goal for Crystal Palace. 2-0 for me. They doubled it, and they added some, of course. Meanwhile, into Monday's matches, Chelsea against Everton, and it was a 2-0 win as well. I watched a bit of this game. Goal scores from Ben Godfrey, big for OG, Jorginho with a penalty to give them the win. Of course, West Ham did another job on... I got that one bang on the nose, by the way. Of course, West Ham did another job on Leeds. 2-0 win in the end. Lingard and Craig Dawson on the score sheet for them. Actually, with the 2-1 win myself. And, of course, wrap it up. 7-0 thriller. Wednesday. It was City against Southampton. De Bruyne with a brace. Mahrez with a brace. Gundogan as well with the goal. Of course, James Ward-Prowse and Che Adams again on the score sheet. 5-2 win for City. Actually won a 3-0 win. I got myself 5, which is a recovery job because, of course, I had a nightmare up here. But, of course, let's take a look at how we all got on last. You guys got on this time around then, shall we? Of course, the table looks like this at the moment, but it could all change after this match day. As, of course, City sit on top, of course, 14 points clear of United, who is second. Of course, Leicester City are third. Chelsea are fourth. West Ham still in the discussion. Liverpool down to 8th. Goodness gracious me. They can still pull it out of the woodwork, but they are running out of lives. Fulham, West Brom and Sheffield now going down. It is tight, airtight. Brighton could get sucked into it, so could Newcastle. I'm hoping upon hoping that Burnley could get sucked into it as well. Come on, babies. Come on, you could do it. Suck them bags of shit down there. Oop, I'm pooping away here like it's going out of fashion. Too many beans last night. Here we go, of course. Take a look at, of course, your picks. Here we bloody go. Not 3 on shit face game, 4 to 7 straight face. When you get 8+, you're absolutely fantastic. How about for VMPB? You did. Whoa, let's just do it this way. For VMPB, you did good. Omar Escobar did great. Roberto Foster did also okay. Adrian Washington not too shabby. Tom Hogan did good. Did okay. Olaji Ojo did alright. Adrian K1Z did great, but with a thumbs up with an edit. Dubious. Because a lot of your scorelines are too close to the money. I'm not saying I'm not saying you cheated, but I'm just saying we got to keep an eye on those edits. This guy down here, don't even know who that is. Who is it? It's Nathan Evo. Let's give him a round of applause because he's a Patreon. So much respect to you, but you did okay. Hansworth did good. Aston Villa also did good, and the guy down there, he also did very, very well. You can't see Murphy's in the corner. You're always out of luck. Of course, Barcelona Issa, you did good. Legolas good also did good. Russell Frost did bloody good. Of course, Fantastic Bliss. Of course, lost Luka Kucelovic not too shabby because Ricardo W. He did alright. LNFC, you know me. LNFC did alright. Ultra Omira also did very, very well. Yannick Seifert also did alright. Of course, Mark Chapman did bits. Georgica Isef not too shabby. Of course, Paxton Ritchie, student, of course, did good. Ahmed Sochi did absolutely brilliant. Of course, well done to you. Of course, I'm Stringer did alright with an edit, but it's okay. Joachim Jackson also did poop, which is okay. Elgin Cow also did okay as well. Not too shabby. Matt Gunner did bits. Mr. Matt Ross not too shabby. Of course, Yannick Bassa did okay. Omaji Monday did alright. Of course, Jelly Van Veen did good. Dominic Thomas also did alright. Vincent Ong did bits. A Judy not too shabby. Of course, Sacha Depraved also did okay. R707B did absolutely brilliant with no edit in sight. James B50 are great. Also did good. Of course, Imogen also did alright. Ollie Hamling did shite. Jacob Nungare, he's okay. Tom Stainer did good. Well played to you, of course. Costas K, he's okay. In fact, he's brilliant. Look at that. Thumbs up. Extraordinaire. Shadon also did very, very well. Jade Negan did alright, of course. Cody Cole did good. Alex Weller, not too shabby, of course, down the bottom there. Jamie Gold also did alright. Kicking off further, Austin did crap. Shepard also did very, very well. And, of course, Gaming Charlie did bits. But what's that done to the overall table? Let's have a little look at it right here, right now. In fact, go back. There it comes. It's thinking about it. It's bloody thinking about it. Come on, machine. You've got to stroke it. Adrian K1Z with a dubious crown. I'm just saying dubious because the edit is there and your scorelines are quite, when you predict 1-1 with Burnley and you predict 1-0 for Fulham or whatever, there was and with an edit, it does smell a little fishy. I'm not saying you did something fishy. It smelled like if I was a detective and I would look and I go, well, he did edit. Let's say edit here and he got a shit ton load of the scores right. And you're new to the scene, we might have to investigate this guy further. I'm not saying, but right here, right now, you wear the crown, but if you weren't wearing the crown, the likes of Ahmed Sochi, Ivan Stringer, Costas K, and R787B would also be wearing the crown right now. So, yes. So, realistically, just put your picks in, forget about it, move on. Don't come back with the edit. If you want to edit, why don't you stick another pick in? And go with this one. Because otherwise, there's no real way. Unless you got 0 and there's an edit, or you did shit and there's an edit, then I'll be more likely to believe you. When you get tip-top 9 out of bloody, or whatever your score is, it doesn't really matter though, because you're not going to win the league. You're not going to win the league. The league has been not settled, but it's you're going to have to do an incredible. You're going to have to get them all right, and everyone else is going to get them all wrong between now and the end of the season, and I don't think that's going to happen. But the leader right here, right now, is Ahmed Sochi and Yaf of the MPB. They're a 48% success rate for the season. Shane O'Donnell and, of course, Costas K, Hans Wurst, Vincent Hung also in the discussion, and there's a whole bunch of other guys. It can all go. It's very tight. It is tight. But, of course, Ahmed Sochi pretty much extended his lead there. Who else did well? Just keep on keeping on. Of course, we got this look ahead to. Of course, we have a full fixture list right here, plus 4 others. And that will, of course, be 14 points on the agenda. Win this, and you can have a good old shout. Let's kick it all off then, shall we? Of course, starting Friday night, that's tomorrow. Newcastle up against Aston Villa. Played each other last 6. 1 win for the Toon, 2 for Villa. 3 draws last round. Of course, at St James's Park was a 1-1 draw back in June 2020 in lockdown. Of course, the goal scorers on the day: Dwight Gale and Ahmed El Mohammadi on the score sheet. They also played each other this season at Villa Park. It was a 2-0 win for Villa back in, of course, January. It was a 2-0 win for Villa. Newcastle undefeated in the last 12 home matches against Aston Villa in all comps. They come into this though, just 1 win in the past 6. That one was against Southampton, of course, back at St James's Park, 3-2 in the end. 1 win in the past 5 though for Aston Villa. That one was against Leeds, of course, at Ellen Road, a couple games back. Look at the bookies odds, 11-4 for the Toon, even Stevens for Villa, 5-2 is your draw. Of course, Newcastle down there towards the foot of the table, but a win for them, they can move up to 15th. Villa are actually in 9th, win for them, they can move up to 8th. I think Villa will get this one with a 2-1 win to get the 3 points to put Newcastle in a bit of bother. Next up, we have Leeds United taking, of course, Chelsea's the early game on Saturday. Played each other last 6, 1 for Leeds, 4 for Chelsea, 1 draw. Last round at Ellen Road was a 5-1 win for Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, of course, in 2012. Goal scorers on that day, I don't even know who the manager was back then. Juan Mata, Hazard, Moses, Ivanovic and Torres. Goodness gracious me, that's a while back. Luciano Becchio on the score sheet. Of course, last time I played in the Premier League in Ellen Road was a 1-1 draw back in 2003. That's right. Bloody Nora. Jermaine Pennant on the score sheet. Damien Duff, ex-Rovers legend there. Of course, they also played each other this season down at Stamford Bridge with a 3-1 win back in, of course, December. Giroud, Zuma, Pulisic on score sheet. Patrick Bamford getting the goal for Leeds. Chelsea keep a clean sheet in 7 last 9 matches in the Premier League, and they're also undefeated in the last 9. They came into this winning 3 of the past 4. Meanwhile, just 1 win in the past 5 for Leeds. That was against Southampton a couple of games back. Meanwhile, the bookies odds on this one will go with Chelsea. I'm sure 50-4 for Leeds, 10-7 on your Chelsea, 3-1 is your draw. Of course, Chelsea coming to this in 4 for a win for them. They can move 3rd. Leeds are down to 11th, but a win for them. They can move to 10th in the table. It ain't happening though. 2 to win with another clean sheet to boot. Crystal Palace taking, of course, West Bromwich Albion. Of course, played to the last 6, 5 for Palace. Nothing for West Brom, 1 draw last round. At Selhurst Park was a 2-0 win for, of course, Palace back in 2018. Goal scorers on the day: Zaha and Van Aanholt as well. They also played at the Hawthorns this season. 5-1 win for Palace. Down there, full on with a big fat OG. Zaha with the brace, Benteke with the brace. Conor Gallagher getting a goal for Palace, of course, and Matthias Pereira got himself something off. Palace, though, failed to score in the last 3 home matches, but they've also won 5 of the last 6 matches against West Brom. Coming into this, though, just 1 win at the past 6 games for West Brom, and that was against Brighton. Meanwhile, 1 win at the past 6 games for Palace. That was against Brighton. Goodness gracious me! So that could be the pudding of the offering right there. Of course, Brighton could be in trouble themselves. Bookies odds on this one, shall we? 23-20 for Palace. 30-5 is your West Brom. 11-5 is your draw. Of course, West Brom are down to 19th, but a win for them they can move up to closer to 18th. Whereas Palace are down to 13th at the moment, but a win for them they can move to 11th in the table. I'm a West Ham fan, not West Brom fan. I'm a Sam Allardyce man, and I wanted to see him do well. I think I'm going to give him this one. If he can't win this one, I think they are toast, completely toast. Everton, though, taking on, of course, Burnley. Them 6-figure freak as always in the end. Down at, of course, Goodison Park. Played to the last 6. 3 for Everton, 2 for Burnley, 1 draw last round. Goodison Park was a 1-0 win back in Boxing Day 2019. Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the score sheet. They also played each other down at Turdmore. That's right, not Turf Moor, Turdmore. Back in, of course, December this season. Of course, Brady on the score sheet, Dominic Calvert-Lewin again. Burnley have actually failed to score in 5 of the last 7 away matches. They come into this just 1 win at the past 6. That one was against Palace. Drawing a lot of games, though, picking up 4 draws of the past 6. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat the past 4 games for Everton. That 1 defeat was against Chelsea in the Premier League. Prior to that, 3 games, 3 wins, 3 clean sheets to boot. Look at the bookies odds on this one. We've got Everton coming at you 65-1 for the victory. 5-2 is your draw. 7-2 is your Burnley on this one. Burnley coming into this 15th. A win for them, they can move to 14th. Everton are into 6th at the moment. A win for them, they can move up to 5th. And maybe that Champions League dream is back on again. I've gone with a 2-0 for Everton. Another clean sheet, 2 goals to boot. Fulham up against Manchester City. Of course, Fulham did the worldie over Liverpool just the other day. Now they take on Manchester City at Craven Cottage. Last 6 between 2 sides, 6 wins out of 6 for Manchester City. Of course, last round at Craven Cottage was a 2-0 win for City. That was, of course, back in March 2019. Goal scorers on that day was Bernardo Silva and Sergio Aguero. They also played this season down at the FA. It was a 2-0 win as well for City, Sterling and De Bruyne. City, though, winning 16 of the last 17 matches in the Premier League. They've also won 10 of the last 10 matches against Fulham in all comps. Heading into this, though, Fulham just 1 defeat the past 6. Their 1 defeat was against Spurs. 1-0 loss there. They're keeping very, very tight. They've got 1, 2, 3 clean sheets in the past 4 games. As for City, 1 defeat the past 6. The 1 defeat was against Manchester United just the other day. Meanwhile, heading into this one, bookies odds. Fulham 9-1 for the victory. 3-1 is your City. 4-1 is the draw. Of course, a win for Fulham in 18th. They could go as high as 16th. As for City, they're in first. A win for them, they could extend the lead. They're already going to extend the lead. They'll be first no matter what. 3-0 win for City. Unfortunately, Fulham will get a bit of a spanking on this one. Next up, we have Southampton against Brighton. Big one, this one. Of course, Southampton in wobbly form. Brighton could do with the points. Last 6, though. 4 for Southampton, nothing for Brighton. 2 draws. Last round at the St Mary's, of course, was a 1-1 draw back in July 2020. Danny Ings on the score, Neil Mopey as well. They also played each other this season down the Amex So 2-1 win for Southampton as well. Vestergaard and Ings again. Pascal Gross getting a goal for Brighton. Both sides are in shit form. Just one win in the past 6 games for Southampton. That was against Sheffield United. 3 defeats on the spin for Palace, for Brighton to have them wobbling. Could be sucked into the out relegation zone if they lose and everything else goes against them. Bookies odds on this one then, shall we? We've got 2-1 for Southampton, 21-10. Is your draw. 64 is your away win. That's Brighton. Brighton could go as high as 16th with the win today. Of course, Southampton, and 14th they could go as high as 11th. I think the Saints will keep on moving, and of course Brighton are in trouble. Leicester City taking, of course, Sheffield United. Of course, played to the last 6 times, 6 out of 6 for Leicester, including a 2-0 win last round at the King Power, of course, back in July 2020. Goal scorers on that day, of course, Perez and Gray. They also played to the Abraham Lane back in, of course, December. Again, Perez on the score sheet, Vardy as well, and a 2-1 win. McBurney get the goal for Sheffield United. Of course, United have actually lost 13 of the last 15 away matches. They've also failed to score in 5 of the last 6 on the road. They came into this show 1 win in the past 6, 1 win in the past 5 games. The other one was against Villa. Meanwhile, just 1 win in the past 4 games for Leicester. That one was against Brighton as they hit a bit of a rough patch. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Shall we? Of course, Leicester 2-1 on for the victory. 6-1 is your Sheffield United. 16-5 is your draw. Of course, Leicester are actually in third. A win for them, they could go second. Who are they playing? They are playing Sheffield United, are rooted to the table. With a win, they can close in on West Brom. They're not going to get the win. Leicester will come out on this one comfortably in the end. It's the North London derby. It is. Arsenal up against Spurs. Of course, played to the last 6. 1 win for the Gunners, 3 for Tottenham. Of course, 2 draws last round. And of course, the Emirates was a 2-2 draw back in, of course, September 2019. Lacazette and Aubameyang with a couple of late equalisers there. Christian Eriksen and Harry Kane on the score sheet for Spurs as they took a 2-0 lead. They also pitched this season down, of course, in the Fancy Pants Stadium as a 2-0 win for Tottenham. In fact, they've actually 1, 2, 3, 4. What am I looking at here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. They're unbeaten. They're unbeaten against Arsenal in the last 5 matches. You've got to go back to 2018 for Arsenal's last win over Spurs. Heading into this, though, Spurs winning 4 on the bounce. As for Arsenal, just 1 defeat the past 5 for them. That 1 defeat was against Manchester City, of course. They did draw with Burnley, though. Look at the bookies odds on this one, shall we? This one's tight, airtight. Of course, 31-20 is your Arsenal. 12-5 is your 7-4 is your Spurs. Spurs are actually in 7th, and win for them, they could actually go into the top 5. Top 5. As for Arsenal, the 10th. Win for them, they can move up to 9th. Going to go with a draw on this one, I think 2-2 in the end. Another fruity one here. Manchester United, of course, taking, of course, West Ham United. The David Moyes derby. Of course, played for the last 6. 3 for United, 2 for West Ham. Of course, 1 draw. Last round at Old Trafford was a 1-0 win in the FA Cup this season, of course. Scott McTominay on the score sheet back in, of course, February. They also played each other last season in the Premier League and ended up all square 1-1 in the end. In fact, 1, 2, 3. United undefeated against West Ham in the last 3 occasions. And in fact, last time West Ham beat, they haven't beaten. West Ham have not beaten Manchester United at Old Trafford, going all the way back to 2016, probably beyond that. Man United scored at least 3 goals in the last 3 home matches, keeping a clean sheet in the last 3 as well, undefeated in the last 8 as well. But drawing a lot of games. As for West Ham, just 1 defeat the past 4. The 1 defeat was against Manchester City. But yes, it is tight. Very, very difficult one, this one. I want to go West Ham. 65 on for United. 35 is your draw. 10-3 is your West Ham. Win for West Ham in 5th. They could actually go above Chelsea into 4th and probably put a right old rat's nest in this top 4 chase. A win for United, though, extends their lead and potentially into top 2. Keep them in there. I've gone with a 2-1 for Manchester United, though. Unfortunately, I want West Ham to win, but I think Manchester United will nick it 2-1 in the end. Next up, we have another difficult one for Liverpool. They must win this one. They must move the bloody chains here. Of course, taking on Wolves at Molineux. Last 6, 1 for Wolves, 5 for Liverpool. Of course, no draws. Last round at Molineux was a 2-1 win for Liverpool back in, of course, January 2020. Goal scores on the day: Jordan Henderson, Roberto Firmino as well. Raúl Jimenez on score sheet for Wolves. They also played this season down at Anfield, 4-0 win. That's when Liverpool were playing their best. Of course, Salah, Wijnaldum, Matip, and Nelson Semedo, big fat OG, giving them the win. Liverpool have actually lost 6 of the last 7 matches in the Premier League, and they're looking very, very wobbly, of course. They've actually won 2 of the past 4, though, beating Sheffield United and, of course, beating Leipzig just yesterday. As for Wolves, without a win in 3, so yeah, not great for Wolves at the moment. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? This is on Monday night. 15-4 is your Wolves, 11-4 is your draw, 11-8 on is your Liverpool. They are your favourites. They're in 8th, and a win for them they can move up to 6. As for Wolves, they're in 12th, and a win for them they can move to 10th. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Liverpool, just enough to get them over the line and maybe just give them a bit of relief. So then we go to the extended matches. Of course, we take a look at Fulham up against Leeds. This is on Friday the 19th of March. I'm not going to do a separate video just for these 4. We're going to combine these bad boys, and I don't think this is actually a little bit confusing here. But anyway, they'll of course play each other the last 6, 2 wins apiece, 2 draws. Of course, last round at Craven Cottage was a 4-3 win. Sorry, scrap. That was a 2-1 win. Of course, for Fulham back in, of course, December 2019. Mitrovic and Unamar on the score sheet. Patrick Bamford as well. That was back in the Championship, of course, back in 2019. They also played each other this season at Ellen Road. A 7-goal thriller going in favour of Leeds. Costa, Klitsch, Bamford, and Costa again. He got a couple of goals. Mitrovic took over Reed on the score sheet. Mitrovic with a brace. Fulham have actually failed to score in 6 of the last 8 home matches. Also keeping a clean sheet sheet. They've kept a clean sheet in 5 of the last 7 matches as well. Leeds, though, losing the last 3 on the road. Just 1 win the past 5 for Leeds. Of course, just 1 defeat the past 5 for Fulham. That was against Spurs. Do we have the bookies odds on this one? I do. I have the bookies odds. It's coming at you 8-5 for Fulham. 9-4 is your draw. 17-10 is your Leeds. Of course, Leeds, if they win both of the games this week, they could potentially go from 11th all the way up to 9th. As for Fulham, if they win both of their games this week, they could go from 18th to at least 15th for the table, of course. I think Fulham will nick this one. They'll lose the other one to get 3 points this week. As for Leeds, they'll lose both their games. Next up we have, of course, I have Aston Villa against Tottenham. Scheduled to take place on Sunday the 21st of March. Yes, indeed, it's 10 days away. Of course, place of the last 6, 1 for Villa, 5 for Spurs, no draws last time around. Of course, at Villa Park was a 3-2 win for Spurs back in, of course, February 2020. Alderweireld scoring on both ends. Of course, Sung Young-min as well with a couple of goals there. Bjorn Engels getting a goal for Villa as a 3-2 win for Spurs. They've not played each other this season, of course, so this is a bit of a catch-up game, though. Spurs won the last 3 matches. Villa keeping a clean sheet in 5 of the last 7 home matches as well. Heading into this, Spurs looking good at the moment. Of course, Villa just 1 win the past 5. I might have the bookies odds on this one. We'll have a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, Aston Villa 9-4 for the victory, 6-5 is your Spurs, 12-5 is your draw. Of course, Villa playing, of course, Newcastle this week. They've got potential 6 points on the agenda. If they were to win both of their games, they could go from 9th all the way up to 6th. Oh yes, and Spurs also got 6 points on the agenda. If they win both of their games, they could go from 7th all the way up to 4th. That's Champions League, and I think they'll do just that. I think they'll get 4 points here with a win against Villa and, of course, a draw against Arsenal. Next up, we have Brighton of Albion taking, of course, Newcastle United, taking place on Saturday the 20th of March. Of course, these two sides played for the last 6. Of course, 2 was for Brighton, nothing for the tune. 4 draws, must-win game for both of these two sides to get out of that relegation zone or to get out of that conversation or boost their odds. Of course, last time around at the Amex was a 0-0 draw back in July 2020 in lockdown. They also played each other this season at St James's Park. It was a 3-0 win for Brighton back in, of course, September. Mopey with a brace, Aaron Connolly as well. Soma got himself sent off though. Newcastle failing to score in 6 of the last 8 away matches. Brighton have actually failed to win 17 of the last 18 home matches as well. They come into this, of course, just 1 win the past 6 games. That's the tune, of course. That was against Southampton. Meanwhile, 4 defeats of the past 5 games have Brighton very, very stretched. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Brighton are actually 10-7 on for the 11-4 is your draw. 15-4 is your Geordies. Of course, Brighton have 6 points on the agenda. Of course, 2 games that they could realistically win. If they were to win both of them, they could go up to, of course, 15th. Same can be said for Newcastle. They've got 2 games. Realistically, they could win both of these. And if they win both of them, they could go from 16th all the way up to 14th in the bloody table. I think they'll win. They'll lose both of them. Brighton will pick up the win here to keep the dream alive. And then finally, we have West Ham against Arsenal. Of course, this match taking place on the 21st of March, which is a Sunday. Of course, played to the last 6. 1 win for the Hammers, 4 for the Gunners. Sorry, 5 for the Gunners. No draws last time around at West Ham Stadium was a 3-1 win for Arsenal. Martinelli, of course, Pepe and Emerick Aubameyang as well. Angel and Bongna on score sheet for West Ham as they lost 3-1. They also played each other down at the Emirates. It was a 2-1 win, of course, back in September. Lacazette and Nicotai on the score sheet. Of course, McAllister on the score sheet, of course, for West Ham. West Ham have actually won 5 of the last 6 home matches in the Premier League. They come into this winning 3 of the past 4. The only hiccup was, of course, the narrow defeat against Manchester City. Of course, Arsenal unbeaten in the last 3. Of course, they'll have played a game since this against Spurs, of course. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? We have Hammers 90-10 for the victory, 7-5 is your Gunners, 12-5 is your draw. West Ham 6 points on the agenda. If they win both of them, they could go, believe it or not, up to 54 points. They could go second. They could go second if they win both of these games and everything else goes their way. As for Arsenal, again, they got 6 points on the agenda. Win both of those, they could go to 44 points. That'll be 8th in the table potentially. I think it's going to be a difficult week for Arsenal. I think they'll lose this one 3-1 in the end, and West Ham keep their dreams of top 4 alive. If I'm right, which I do hope so, this is what the table will look like at the end of it. Of course, it'll be City leading the charge, 71 points. Manchester United in second, 57 points. Leicester third. And of course, Chelsea fourth. West Ham remaining fifth. Spurs, Everton, and Liverpool still in the hunt as well. But Sheffield United, West Brom, and Newcastle going down as it stands, of course, but still within touching distance are Burnley. That's what we're talking about. That's what we want to see, and hopefully we can have a bit of an exciting end to the season to see them six-finger freakazoids get sucked down into that shit. Again, be sure to join me again. The next prediction league for the Premier League will be after the international break, or maybe during the international break it'll come out. But of course, looking forward to a bit of a break, because I think that's that fixture list with the 4 games. I think it's FA Cup weekend, I think. But anyway, be sure to get your picks in nice for this. Down below, of course, links to my other stuff. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitch, I'm on Patreon. If you want to support the channel in another way, that's the best place to do it. I do appreciate the support that I can get from Patreon. It gives me the belief and of the resources to kick on another level. We've got a big old year ahead, even though this year's been a bit rough. We're hopefully going to see some huge changes over the next few months. So stick by me, back the boys, back the brand, and we'll do it all again. Until then, though, see you soon. Mask up 6 feet. Get your picks in. I'll see you all next time.